Welcome. Happy Wednesday, Canadian wine lovers. Today, we're hosting a great winemaker that we all really love. It's Mythology Week at Carl's Wine Club. So, Mark Simpson is going to be joining us very soon and much more. Stay tuned. We're coming back right away.
And I gotta say, teaser, I'm gonna be pairing all these reds we have open right now with Cadbury mini eggs I got on sale at Walmart and popcorn. So you don't want to miss it.
Woohoo! Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, everyone across the country. It's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, midnight somewhere. Who cares? Let's hope that you have a glass of Canadian wines in your glass, and we are going to celebrate big, bold, refined, and freaking amazingly priced South Okanagan wines today. So yeah, a cool show coming up. We have a winemaker also is going to join us in 15 minutes time or some. Mira Boucher, welcome. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
How are you?
You know, I just love these kind of Wednesdays when I just put the hat backward and I just don't have time to get changed and whatever. You're rocking what I've been rocking all day with my Raven shirt.
Great.
I mean, you're the only one looking good here. How do you do that?
Oh, please. I just, it's the glow from running.
Oh, that's the glow from running and the lemon tree behind you. So,
Right.
Canadian wine lovers, hey, if you're tuning in, I want to know what's in your glass today. I want to know where you are tuning from. And first and foremost, I want to say hi to Mike Laplante, our average wine enthusiast, who is tuning in again this Wednesday. So, Mike, good evening, my friend. Hope all is well. I have this Viognier. I'll tell you one thing. It has, I just wish I had a 92 points on that Viognier. It's just keep improving over and over and over again. And I mean, this one has been open for it's been open for a week, and it's still I didn't even palm the air out anything. I mean, this wine's gonna age forever. I freaking love that Viognier.
So you mean to tell me that you have Viognier in your glass and I don't?
Yeah, I know. When I did, to be honest, it hasn't been chilled. I just brought the bottle.
You were just curious.
No. Yeah, I was just curious, and I poured it.
Yeah,
I was sure it's gonna be it would be oxidated, but no, this wine is still singing. It's crazy. So James just joining us. Mythology Malbec 21 tonight. Oh my God, something that it's already in the feature. How dare you? Oh yeah, because we had that Malbec 21 in pre-release a couple years ago. That's what happened with that wine, James Miller. Good job. I love it.
Wow.
I want to know what you think, how it tastes right now, because I tasted it again over the weekend, and I had a bunch of hockey mom who went absolutely giddy about that Malbec in Vernon here. So Stacy and Jeff Lobano from Ottawa, they're surviving another tax season. Stacy and I are drinking Casaba. There you go. Some Casaba Pinot Gris here. I love Casaba wines for sure. There you go. So people are starting to tune in. It's going to be a fun show. I also want to talk about the Pan Canadian Masterclass a little later on.
And I also have a wine to blind taste you on a little later on. So
Oh,
yeah,
do you?
yeah, I do. But I'll start teasing you about it now because I'll start opening it.
Well, and do that, and when you come up with the blind taste wine, bring an empty glass so I can pour some Viognier. There's a little bit of Viognier left, and I want you to taste that. 2022
Love it.
Mythology Viognier, open for 7 days. No hint of oxidation. Still singing like crazy. Last time we opened it was what, Monday or Sunday? Monday, when we had sushi. And you were mentioning, you're like, oh my God, that wine is so good still. And I was kind of surprised on Monday. And I like, okay, it's not going to survive until Wednesday. Not only it survived, it keeps getting better, for God's sake.
Amazing.
I'm just reading some comments here. Tracy's as chicken cacciatore with the Malbec. Whoa, that's one of the disastrous thing that happened in my life is that allergy to tomatoes was started to develop in the last couple of years. So chicken cacciatore is not a thing that I can eat ever again, but it's something that I really, really, really used to like. But anyway, Jim and Tracy, I hope that you guys are enjoying the chicken cacciatore with the Malbec.
Sounds very good.
We have, there you go.
Mark Simpson is in the comments. That's pretty
Yeah,
fun.
Mark is in the comments. That's awesome. Talking about the wine here. I think I was reading more about the notes, and there may be some acacia wood as well. Hey, Mark, on that. Anyway, we'll talk about that live. But
Very
I'm just
shortly.
so freaking impressed how long that wine is lasting. Mira, I really think that we should dedicate a email, especially on that Viognier,
Yes.
before the end of
It's
the
true
feature.
because some Viogniers can get like a bit flabby and not
Mm-hmm.
fun. And this is
Mm-hmm.
nothing like that. This is a really special Viognier.
Here is my
Okay.
take on Viognier here. No one makes Viognier like the Rhone Valley. If you're in the Northern Rhone, I mean, this is the homeland of Viognier, and this is thick, it's big, it's bold, it's luscious. Outside of that region, and if you try to reproduce that style, you're missing the mark 95% of the time. Viognier, it's not a type of grape where it has a good natural acidity and this and that. So anyway, long story short is the 2022 here, it's not that thick, oily, and heavy Viognier. First, when I had my first sip, it's bright, it's vibrant, there's a crunchiness in that Viognier, and I love the bright acid. And now, like I said, like 7 days in, that wine, that acid, that's still hang in the mid palate of that wine. It's just absolutely incredible. So a beautiful style of Viognier. And this is probably one of my very favorite that Mark has made because I've tasted many of his Viognier since, like he's mentioning here, 2010. And this one is, and this, I think it's also the result of the vintage. Remember, Mira, we had many conversations with many winemakers across the valley that 2022 was a great vintage for white. The white were crisp and vibrant and lively and super expressive. And that's everything that I just mentioned. It's right in this glass of Viognier. So we're here. I want to show people here. So that's my little 2022 here. There's not a ton left, but I'll tell you one thing. In 1 week, we've been sipping multiple time of that bottle, and it's still singing. So,
Beauty.
oh, still singing. Maybe it's the mermaid.
Oh,
Maybe it's the mermaid.
I love it.
I
I love
love
it.
it. I love it.
Hey, look.
I'm a
So I
poet. I'm
have,
a bit of a poet tonight.
yeah, I have your blind tasting bottle here. Ooh, popcorn. Um, I'm not going to give away what it is. You can't tell by the top, but check out my super sexy romantic way of opening the top. Okay, Carl worked in restaurants, like 5-star restaurants, so he's done everything from the
Don't do it. Don't do it.
peel
Don't
the
do that.
foil
Don't
into
do
a
that. Don't do
flower
that.
and like make it all fancy, or that thing that you can do with the tongs, for older bottles. You can like heat tongs and but look at how I do it.
Don't do it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Classy, huh?
Oh
Classy.
my God, that's
I just
painful
sometimes I
to
cut
watch.
myself
That
on
is
the
painful to
oil.
watch. Anyway,
Man, look,
and you know what?
this is the
That's
problem
okay.
with
You're
these
so good
blind
looking that you
tastings.
can. Oh, and you so she usually choose a screw cap.
Yeah,
It's
for
much
this
easier for her,
particular
but
reason.
no,
This is
wow, you're getting
interesting, though.
fancy.
The cork, this is very fancy. The cork has the vintage on the top.
There you go. Oh, I
I've never
love
seen
it. I
that
love it.
before.
I love it. Never
That's
stop
pretty cool.
practicing. Here you go. So we have Mike LaPlante getting into the conversation. Danny and Jeanette are joining us from the
Woo!
lower mainland here. The Flins, nice to see you guys. Happy to hear that you are doing well. Happy Wine Wednesday. So Canadian wine lovers, all Carl's Wine Club members, it's Mythology Vineyard week this week. We're going to have Mark Simpson here joining us in a few minute times, and we're going to talk about the outstanding lineup of mythology wine that we have available this week. Two wines were completely exclusive to the club for their pre-release. The mythology, the two new estate wine from Mark. The Estate Merlot and the Special Reserve Tempranillo. A duo of 92 points wines as I rated them. I mean, this is really freaking cool to see that little piece of dirt coming back to life and producing some amazing grapes, especially for the Tempranillo, a tiny little barrel of wine. We spent like 24 to 30 months in barrels. We're gonna have a cool video to show you guys when I was at the warehouse with Mark over 12 months ago, tasting the Merlot in barrels. Hopefully, what I'm seeing at the warehouse kind of fit my tasting notes. A year later, hopefully, I'm not gonna look like a fool, but
No, it does. I listened to it, and it totally is exactly in line to your tasting notes. So Mark Simpson is in the green room. I have here the wine I just poured for your blind tasting after Mark's interview because Mark has to go in about half an hour. And I'm just about to pour my glass. By the way, check this out.
oh, how's that happen?
Probably our dishwasher did that. Hey, look at that.
Oh,
Anyway, that will be mine. I won't cut you on it. Everything, I hope I opened a bottle I'm allowed to open for your blind taste because everything points to, like, this could be $100 bottle. It is a very fancy bottle. But anyway, I'm excited for you to taste it. I don't even know what it is. I haven't researched it yet, so I'm just almost as blind as you. We'll see. But let's bring Mark Simpson on. Mark Simpson is winemaker at Mythology Vineyard in Osoyoos, BC. And we're excited because we've tasted so many of his wines lately. We're featuring them this week with pre-release pricing, member exclusives, all the things we love. And the wines are freaking spectacular. So I can't wait to hear.
And yeah, don't forget the high scores. I mean, there's 5 wines, 92 points or better. Not 5 out of 9. So take that, everyone. A freaking high scoring feature. So and a
super
great
micro
price
production
point.
too. So we feel very very honored to be able to explore these wines with you guys. Here comes Mark Simpson. Hey Mark, how's it going?
Hey friends, how's it going?
Great. I'm gonna step out for a second so I can bring Carl some wine. Nice to see you.
There you go, Mark. How are you, my friend? Happy Wednesday. Great to have you on.
I got to work on a fancy backdrop. The library and the cupboard just isn't cutting it. I have to like put the mountains of Switzerland or something on the back of. I have to figure out how to do that.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe a picture of the vineyard in Osoyoos will be also great. But you know what? Your shirt, make it up for the library behind you. I love that shirt.
I'm going to the Rosé Revival at the Heritage Hall tonight in East Vancouver with Liberty Wines. We have about 50 types of rosé and a room full of rosé lovers. I know you guys like rosé. So while I was getting ready for this video, I was busy at the kitchen winemaking bench, cooking up some bench trials of some new rosé wines we've got going on. So that's always fun.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. How many people are expecting down there tonight?
Oh, there should be about 150.
That's awesome. That's
That's a
awesome. No,
fundraiser for breast cancer, so it's a good cause. And Liberty Wines is
always.
one of our retailers who sell wines at their specialty wine shops. It's one of the better high quality retailers out there that curate a good selection of wines from around the world. So yeah, it should be fun.
That's awesome. Now you're bringing a point about the retail that I want to ask you a little later. But before we start, I mean, a lot of our member, Mark, a lot of our members across the country know you for the previous adventure, know you from the Siren's Call bottling. I had like, I don't know how many emails I got since Tuesday, since yesterday. Carl, is it the Mark Simpson that we know from the previous? So yes, and it was a great transition. So Mark, I would like you to take us into your journey on when you heard about that piece of dirt and the winery for sale in the Soyuz, and you found a business partner with Teresa Santini, and you and Teresa jumped in that new Mythology Vineyard adventure. And what did it provide it for you and your dream of finally have your own vineyard and your own place?
Well, that's we don't have enough time for the whole story, but the short version is that every winemaker that makes wine, I think, wants to farm as well. So to make good wine, you have to farm and make the wine. You have to control all aspects of the process. So this is a piece that I hadn't done directly before 2022. So I met Teresa at a wine tasting, and we got along good, and we both had a kind of a shared vision, and we both have different skills that we bring to the table. So we decided to find this piece of dirt, and it was not an accident. We hunted for almost 1 or 2 years. We have a good realtor on our team. Some of you might know him. He probably is listening. But we found a special property, and what I liked about it was we have old vines, so we didn't have to farm something new from scratch. It's in a great location, one of the hottest places in Canada. Sometimes too hot, sometimes too cold, but generally pretty good dirt and an inn. So we have not just a place to farm and make wine, but a customer experience. So anyone that's been to the Mythology Vineyard know that we don't just make wine there. We have barbecues, we have parties, and it's just a fun place to be. So all of those things came together in creating a venue that seemed to fit the bill. And so we jumped in and borrowed some money and got this asset rolling. And then we got hit by floods, hurricanes, lightning, heat dome, every natural disaster known to man. And so this is my boot camp of being in the farming industry, which is quite a bit different and I think harder than being in the wine industry. Winemaking, you can generally control things. Weather, you can't control. You can jump up and down all you want. You can't control the weather. So I think the art of surviving that is to adapt to whatever the weather gives you. So, our vineyard did go through some hard times, but we've managed to survive. We farmed the canopy pretty robustly, so we had a bit of a jungle out there this year, but the thought process was to bring back the vines through having a lot of vascular activity and a lot of canopy to bring the sap up from the old vine roots, which are 20 feet deep, up into the top of the plants above the dirt. That seemed to work. So now we have some buds and hopefully some fruit this year. Hi, Mira.
Hi.
Where's my
She's bringing
popcorn?
me popcorn and mini Cadbury eggs to do some
Right.
pairings later. So
So that's the short version. But it's been, like I said, it's been a wild ride, and I could not have ever in my wildest dreams expected the things that have happened to us. But we're still here. We're still making good wine. We're still farming, and life goes on.
So not only you guys now, okay, you went from your virtual project and the whole thing, Siren's Call now been become like Mythology Vineyard. I know because we've been a little bit involved at the beginning with the branding session and all that. So it was so cool to see the whole evolution, finding the piece of dirt and also starting to make some spirits as well, for where you're at. But not only that, you guys are operating a beautiful vineyard house right in Osoyoos in the middle of the vines, where because so if you want to tell us a little bit what we can expect from the Sonora Desert Inn or the Mythology Vineyard Inn, I don't know how to call it, and I apologize for that, but our people are traveling from all over the place this summer to come, and I know that Mark, you have a beautiful place there to offer as well, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think what we offer is a very authentic winery and farming experience. We're not 5 star. We don't have, the towels folded up into a swan on the bed like some places, but we do have warm hospitality. Teresa, in particular, is that's one of her strong suits. She's Italian heritage, so she knows how to make people feel welcome and warm. We like to cook. We have a pizza oven in the backyard, which we threatened to fire up and cook something, some nice food. We had a pizza night there last year, which was fun. So we're just, it's just real honest farming winemaking, nothing fancy, just authentic. And, we like to have attention to detail in the winery and in the farming. And I think that's showing up in the wines. So, we have a really nice tasting room. It's not big, but it's a nice place to come and hang out. It's air conditioned, so not too hot in the summer. And we also have the spirits aspect where we're taking, some of our wine products and making some interesting spirits that have terroir built in, like our Nacino has, is infused from walnuts that we grow on the property. So there's a lot of different pieces to the puzzle that I think make our little adventure pretty interesting.
That's awesome. So I want to tell everyone that also we brought winemakers from all over the country staying at the Mythology Vineyard, Vineyard Hen last year at the Pan Canadian Masterclass, which was hosted at Hester Creek, right nearby Mythology. And we had all of our traveling winemakers stay there. So a couple parties there. The welcome reception was hosted with the pizza at Mark's place, Mark and Teresa's place. So I mean, I like the I really like what you guys have to offer. It's absolutely outstanding. So if people ever thinking of traveling wine country this year, you're looking for a vineyard experience, reach out to Mark, reach out to us. We'll connect you, but highly recommended. So that's for the hospitality part of the experience. Now let's jump right into the portfolio, Mark, because there's a couple things I want to talk about before we talk about the estate wines that we're pre-releasing this week. I want to talk about a very cool collaboration wine that you're doing. And this little batch of wine, like I think 40 something cases, is called the Aphrodite. It's a wine made from Pinot Gris and Cigaribi, which is a German grape. So this project, these are not fruits from the Okanagan. This is not fruits from your own vineyard. This is a collaboration with Alderley Vineyard in on the Vancouver Island. So you have Vancouver Island fruits here in your bottle of Aphrodite, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So tell me a little bit more about that. How that came up to fruition? Like, how's that partnership with Zach Brown
Well,
came about to exist?
I got to go back to 2009 because I met Zach through social channels and we just became friends. And he's a true Garage East winemaker, so he was making wine in his driveway in his garage in East Vancouver. So and I was starting my consulting company, Artisan Food and Beverage Group, in 2010. So I didn't have any projects at the moment. So I thought, well, let's make some wine together. I need some business cards, liquid business cards. Like a bottle of wine is a business card for a consulting winemaker, because if you can make good juice and show it to someone, they're going to trust you. So we made these batches together, which was a lot of fun. We got on well, and since that time, I started being very active in the consulting field. I worked on a number of startups like Black Market and Nagging Doubt and others, and I've been lucky to form some very good relationships with growers around the Okanagan and the province. Like Mohan from Bordertown, we still work closely with him. And at the heart of every great wine is great fruit. So if you have good growers on your team that you trust and they trust you, and you get access to the best fruit they grow, that's always a great starting point. So that's my approach, that I began with, was acquiring great fruit and doing my best to make wine that was true to those vineyards and to those terroirs. And I'm still doing that. And, the cold snap in 24 and the heat dome and the fire and the somewhat cold in 2023 hurt the yields in our estate vineyard. So we have to do something about that. So many winemakers in BC went 100% Washington which is a great approach because there's some beautiful wines that are coming from that. But I wanted to focus a little bit more on, staying within BC. So I have collaborations with Zach, who now owns Alderley Vineyards in Cowichan, with his lovely wife Julie, and so we created this batch of wine from a shared vision. I've been working with Seaside Pearl in Abbotsford, so I've been working with Fraser Valley Fruit for a long time, and also Hornby Island. So I travel to these other places. Also, I've worked in Creston with Redbird, so I've been lucky enough to see many of the different winemaking regions in BC and make wine from all those different situations, which has definitely schooled me as a winemaker for sure, because it's different everywhere you go. So I've just kept those collaborations alive and brought them into the glass, so to speak, with the Aphrodite, which stands for the goddess of love. And the wines I'm going to pour tonight are showing some Fraser Valley fruit, and they'll be on the market soon. We also have a batch of wine featuring some Sauvignon Blanc Semillon from Washington State, which is an outstanding batch of wine. That'll be coming soon. So we haven't ignored our estate vineyard, but just, keeping busy while it heals. So the good news is this year we have pretty decent bud break, a good canopy, and all signs that we'll get, some kind of a crop, whether it's, half or 3/4 or a quarter. I don't know. I'll answer that question in June after we have flowering. But, every winemaker wants to make wine, whether it's their fruit or someone else's. So if you're on the sidelines not making wine, that really sucks. So it's a very practical thing, as we just want to keep busy. If you're a skier, you want to go out and be on snow. If you're a winemaker, you want to squeeze grapes. And so we, tapped into our personal network of people I know and trust to bring some of these other appellations to the forefront and showing them to our customers. And we're proud to do that. And in parallel, the estate wines we made in 2022 are sleeping in barrel and just showing better and better all the time. So I let them sit until they're really showing beautifully, and we put them in the bottle. So I think the video Carl's referring to was shot a year ago in the barrel room when those grapes were, I don't know, those wines were 14 months old, and they've evolved since then. So that's the journey in a nutshell.
That's the journey. That's awesome. And it seems like we're having they're having a viewing party at the winery right now. One of our member from Kamloops, Dylan Warfield, is sitting at the winery watching the show with Teresa and sipping on some 2020 special reserve cab at the winery. So I love the viewing party, guys. I think it's awesome. That wine is my highest rated wines of the feature, that special reserve cab. I just thought, and I did a post about it today, I just thought that this is definitely the best price Cab Sauv, and that, like, 93 plus point. This wine is absolutely off the chart. But right now, I want to talk about what you're just mentioning about your estate program. I mean, there's not a ton of Tempranillo out there. I know that Black Hills Estate makes a Tempranillo. I believe that Mooncursor does a Tempranillo. There's a very, very, very little amount, a handful of producer, and you have a small little block of Tempranillo on your estate. And from the 2022 vintage, you have crafted 24 cases of that very precious juice. I mean, 24, for people who don't know, 24 cases, it's the amount of one barrel. So when we say precious juice, it is very, very precious. The wine is delicious. The wine has a little bit of a European feel to it. It's kind of light on its feet. It's not a heavy, super extracted Tempranillo. The oak is very well integrated. That's floral aspect that you can expect from Tempranillo. Some very classic varietal typicity in that wine. So I truly, truly enjoyed it. Mark, I want you to take us a little bit into your process of making that one barrel of Tempranillo from your piece of dirt at the estate. And what's the size of the block also?
Well, there's 3 rows, but the rows on that side of the vineyard are a little bit shorter. So they're not as long as our Merlot rows. And when we looked at the vineyard, that mixture was interesting because we had a fairly good chunk of Merlot. We could, make a base of blend on, or a varietal, and this little bit of Tempranillo was very interesting. because I went to Spain in 2008 or 2009, and I can't remember the exact year, but I went to a winemaking class at a hotel there, and the class was put on by a buddy of mine who was related to um, the gentleman who owns the cooking school, Sauce Chambar restaurant, and he pointed me to this wine class. I went to this wine class, and I stayed there and drank wine till 3 a.m. And the guy there said, you should go visit these following wineries. So the next week I went off to the Basque Country and into the Rioja region. And I went and tasted wines at some very classic wineries in those regions. And as many of you know, in Rioja, they make beautiful wines, and Tempranillo is a very prominent varietal in Spanish winemaking. So I really enjoyed the texture of that wine. And I thought that in this batch, if I was lucky to capture some of that kind of earthy, rustic texture, not too heavy, then I would have, been pretty pleased with the result. And I think that's where we landed. So that meant, a light touch of oak, not to overwhelm the fruit character. And also it was only half a bin, so it was a pretty small amount of wine. So it's hard to get a good extraction in a small batch of wine because you need the heat of a larger ferment. So it was a bit tricky to get the wine in shape, punch downs and fruit flies, wanting their share, and get it into barrel. So I think the whole exercise was just don't fuck it up. Like, keep it clean, keep the fruit pure, don't over oak it, and get it in the bottle in good condition. So we got enough. I think we had 280 liters after the pressing, so it was just enough to squeeze out one barrel with all the toppings. So that's what we did. Now that might be the last time I ever make it, because from our vineyard, because the vines are pretty beat up. Now they're growing back, but will I get a bucket or 2 buckets or half a bin or a third of a bin? Not expecting the same amount of fruit, but I think we want to survive that vineyard and probably interplant it. So we have to keep making Tempranillo, and if I had another source of fruit, I would probably make a pile of it. But I think, my summary of that is don't over oak it too heavy. That's the key.
Well, that's what we we lost Mark here for a second. That's okay. We're I'm gonna is back. Mark, are you here?
Yep, still here.
Okay, still here. Awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, so we were brainstorming, we were talking about what we're going to do with these 24 cases, that one little barrel. So we are grateful. We are lucky enough to have the privilege to offer Carl's Wine Club members the first bid at this 2022 Tempranillo. Obviously, like you guys can imagine, 24 cases, that's not going to last very long. And also, the other cool thing, it's Mark has released that wine at just under $40, including tax, all in at just under $40. And now we know that, like, after that promotion, Mark's gonna have a little launch with his own wine club, and after that, the leftover is gonna go up in price at probably like something like over $50, which is, the wines is absolutely worth it when you look at the rarity of the grape, when you look at also the small batch, all of the factor, the 92 points, the quality of the wine, $50. It's not ultra, it's a price that it's very, very fairly priced. I would say even it can even be higher, but we're so privileged to have it at $39.95 for pre-release price for this week. Mark, this is absolutely outstanding. We have to say thank you for that, and to give Carl's Wine Club members the first bid. It is absolutely amazing. Thanks for that. Now, I don't know if Mira's around, but Mira, if you're around, that would be great to have the little video about the Merlot. And after that, we'll come back after the little video and we'll talk about the estate Merlot that you've produced. I think it's 175 cases. Also, not a big batch of wine, but something that it is worth to get your hands on. Mira?
Yeah, I wish I had 1,000 cases.
Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Not much
what's that, Mark?
to have another dirt.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out. But hey, this is kind of crazy. So Mark reminded us that we went to the new Mythology Vineyard estate location and actually tasted these wines in barrel. It was
No,
December
this
13th.
one it's at the warehouse location.
This was at their warehouse locations.
Yeah.
This is December 13th, 2023. What is that, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
And I got to say, Carl Boucher, you're pretty bang on when you scope out a good wine. You know it. And we had forgotten about this. So thanks to Mark for reminding us.
Oh, lost you. Oh, you're back. Okay. There's the video.
Yeah. So we're going to get this on just to show these guys.
Greetings, wine lovers. We're here at the Mythology Vineyard Barrel Room, and we invited Carl down to have a look at some of our new wines we're coming up with. We're tasting our two estate wines, the 2022 Mythology Vineyard Merlot and the Tempranillo, kind of learning the personalities of the wine prior to bottling. And what do you think, Carl?
It's so much fun to dig into these newer vintage, right? 2022 was such an interesting vintage, and I can see, especially here with the Tempranillo, the ripeness of the fruit.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Like this wine, give it a couple months in the bottle, like a 6 months in the bottle, come together. But I love that. This is really exciting. The Merlot,
Yeah.
like we just tasted different barrels. I mean, like when everything comes together, it's going to be a stellar Merlot. So I can't wait.
Now, do you think we need a bit more time in barrel, or are they kind of peaking now? Or
I would say maybe 3 more months.
that's what I was thinking.
That's my initial thought, and a little bit of time in barrel to bring everything together. But I mean, this is getting close. I mean,
Now,
we can see the personality.
in terms
we
of
can see the depth and the richness of the wine is right there.
In terms of the terroir of the South Okanagan, how is a typical Merlot tasting? Because we have some pretty impressive neighbors around. We have Soyas Thoreaus, we have Burring Owl, we have Phantom Creek, all farming the same dirt. And we want to establish our own personality for the vineyard. How would you say the personality of these wines and how it's reflecting the terroir of the area?
I would say when I see a lot of, I would say lots of concentration, but to me, that's the plummy and the fresh sage. You know that's fresh herb. To me, all we very, very resonate in the roast South Okanagan, and you get all of these aspects in the wine that we just tasted. So I would say this is classic South Okanagan, and what I'm looking for. To me, what makes it stand out is freshness. Try to stay away from the big, heavy, over extracted. I think it's been overdone in the past. Now we're back in the moment where, like, I think a little bit of freshness, and that's where that sage and fresh herbs bring that second layer. So, and we got it absolutely.
Well, we have a light touch on the oak. We got some more barrel time. We've got some racking, and a little bit of putting some oxygen into the wine to take it out of its reductive state. But I think sometime in the spring we're going to put it in the bottle and have something pretty special.
Hey, so Mythology Estate Vineyard. So now this special premium stuff is coming out. So I'm really excited.
And you want to make great wine, you got to control your fruit. So that's what we've done here. So we're pretty stoked. Thanks, Carl.
From start to finish, all the way to the bottle. Good job, Mark.
You bet. See you again.
See ya.
Check in 3 months when it comes out of barrel.
We'll keep people posted.
Interviewing me, and thanks for interviewing me. It's always good to be interviewed once in a while. Hey?
There you go. Yeah.
I'm
flash from the past.
I'm glad that we've seen that, because that's what I'm mentioning in my tasting notes that I did last week, saying that like savoriness, herbaceous, and that connection. I had a phone call with Mark this couple days ago, mentioning that the Tempranillo and the Merlot both have some similar characteristic in terms of dry sage, fresh herbs, savory. And Mark's answer was, yeah, Carl, it's from the same piece of dirt and it's from the same winemaker. So some very common characteristic between the two wines, both 92 points. So Mark, I think we were bang on with that video, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to get some validation along the way that we were on the right track. And we did let it sleep a long time. I think it ended up being 26 months. And most of my other wines prior to that were kind of in the 18-month range. So I think, any longer might have been too much. But interestingly, the wines that we're just bottling now are 36 months in barrel. We're just bottling our 2021s. So those wines are going to be just ultra spectacular. I mean, I had some wine with Charlie Basler at Courcelette one time in his barrel room, and he pulled out some wines that were 36 months in barrel. I thought, oh, I better let some of these barrels sleep and see what happens. So you guys can watch for those wines coming up that had that long sleep, and they're very concentrated but elegant. They're not extracted, they're not too heavy, but that long sleep in barrel really paid off.
Well, and I saw it. It's one also common characteristic that I mentioned in most of my tasting room notes, Mark. It's about elegance. Exactly what I've mentioned across tasting notes with you. It's yes, it's a reflection of the South Okanagan because you either grow your stuff at the winery, but also source from top notch vineyard, mostly from the South Okanagan or the Similkameen. But everything that you put out, it's as elegance. There's nothing heavy over extracted. So should we say that it's a little bit of your winemaking style reflection there with the elegance and avoiding that heavy high alcohol type of thing for the reds?
I guess so. It wouldn't be modest of me to say yes to that 100%, but I think it's the reflection is that there's careful winemaking. We top the barrels, we manage the headspace, we handle the fruit carefully. We don't, beat the wines up in the winery. So the elegance is really, it's a mark of quality as much as a mark of the winemaking style. We just, our job in the winery is just don't mess up the fruit. Like, express the vineyard and get it in the bottle without too much intervention. So I think that's kind of the goal, is to get it in the bottle, the way it was grown without putting too much of a heavy hand in the winery or making mistakes that lead to IVA or oxidized or over extracted, all those other things. So we try to avoid that for sure.
Awesome. So now, before I know I have to let you go, you have something that you have to attend right now.
I have to
But
go sell some rosé.
yeah, you
Yeah.
have to go. But before I give 93 plus points to your special reserve Cabernet Sauvignon, and you're doing something with your cab, just like you've done with the 2019, which I really liked. But the 2020 absolutely blew my socks off. One of my highest rated cab sauv that I had in years. But it's not 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. You have a 9% Cabernet Franc in there. So explain to me, because that's something that many California vintner winemaker will use as blending a under 10%. They're allowed like under like 25% in California. In Canada, we're at 85% of the main grape. But you're like, what is the strategy by putting a little 9% of Franc in your Cab Sauv?
Just brings some elegance and it brings some structure to the mid palate. I think that the Cab Franc can bring some mint, some eucalyptus, some menthol, some of those notes that are characteristic, and it does feed the path to elegance, because 100% Cab Sauv can be a big wine, and typically the grapes might have a slightly higher Brix, maybe 27, 26. And if you have a Cab Franc that's coming in at 23 Brix and maybe 13.6 alcohol instead of 14.2, it just rounds out the Cab Sauv and gives it a little bit of finesse and elegance. And it's a strategy that's worked over and over for me. In fact, I think my 2015 was double gold, all Canadians. The only one I've ever got double gold, but that was the first time I did that. So, I think the goal of winemaking to be, of interest to our customers is to be consistent. So if we do something and it works, keep doing it, because if it works, people like it. Why stop? You don't have to be, too crazy and change shit up all the time. Just do what people like. And if you have a good result, repeat it.
There you go. Well,
There you
Mark,
go.
thank you very much. I know you have to go pour some rosés. If you're on the lower mainland and you order this week, there's a good chance that you're going to go visit the customer yourself. You like doing the drop off around Vancouver and all that. So be on the lookout. Mark might show up on your doorstep for a drop off.
Yeah. And thanks everybody for supporting us. Thanks, Carl and Mira, for supporting us since we came into the market. it's super important for us to have a community of wine lovers that we get to know a little bit. And we're not trying to be everywhere and in all places. We just want to have a small group of committed people that buy our wine and enjoy it. And we're going to spoil those people and hope you keep coming back. So it's not a complicated formula in business. It's just be nice, make good wine, and stick around. Thanks,
Love
everyone.
it, Mark. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Enjoy the rosé party tonight. Thank you very
I will.
much. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
We're
This is
pouring some fun
Mythology.
stuff tonight, so I'll get some feedback from the customers on a couple of new flavors I'm playing with.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
That's
Have a
awesome.
good night.
For giving us such generous access to these super rare wines. That's amazing.
Our
Thank
pleasure.
you. Have a great night.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye. Woohoo!
Fun.
Yeah, that's
Always
fantastic.
fun chatting with Mark. So this is Mythology Vineyard week. We have 9 outstanding wines out of 5 out of 9 are rated 92 points or better. So an incredibly high scoring feature, and I think there's many points that I want to highlight. Again, that's the exclusivity on the 2022 estate, the estate Merlot, and the special reserve Tempranillo, that no one else in the country had access. No one else. The very, very first people to order these wines are you guys at Carl's Wine Club. It's not ever anywhere. Mark is building right now his own little wine club, so his wine club's gonna have access to it after that. But after that, it's gone. It's only 24 cases, especially for the Tempranillo, so all gone. And the price is going to be higher. We have a $11 discount or something like that just before the price goes up. So that is really, really cool. Another thing that was really cool is that 2020 special reserve Cabernet Sauvignon. That wine hit the spot like a champ. Man, that I like that wine. So well done, because the thing is, we don't have a lot of Cab Sauv in Canada who shine that way. And when it happened, especially with Cab Sauv, you got a price tag of $50 or above. If you're in California or if you're in Napa Valley, you have a price tag of $100 or above. If you're in Bordeaux, anyway, that keeps going up and up and up. So at $33 plus tax or at $30 plus tax, this wine is fantastically priced. I mean, this is a knockout.
Outrageous, actually.
I know. It
Yeah.
is absolutely fucking a steal. It's incredible. I love that. And I mean, like, including the price and everything, my tasting notes are all on the thing, but the 93 plus points, that wine is a rock star wine. That's another thing. And one more, but maybe two more thing, but the duo of 2018 wines, we have a 2018 Syrah and 2018 Harmonious, which is Mark Red. Not Meritage, because there's some Syrah in it, but there's the Bordeaux blend with an addition of a little portion of Syrah. So it's Harmonious, the flagship red blend of Mythology from the 2018 vintage. These two 2018 are absolutely freaking singing right now. 92 plus for both of them. What a great duo of 2018. If you're the type of people, just like my lovely business partner here, who likes it a little older, a little bit more experience, with a little bit more charm, and who got the right move and all that, these 2018 are older wine. They're showing gracefully right now. So and we have these two wines available in that. And the other thing is, two of the three whites, I mean, like, they're like the Aphrodite.
Yeah.
I'm just looking. Yeah, Aphrodite. There's the 90-point tag who goes on it. A very well priced wine, but the story behind it is absolutely incredible. I love the partnership with Vancouver Island for that wine. Awesome. And I mean, I've been sipping on that Viognier for $20.64 or something like that. I mean, like, let me look on my sheet, 22 bucks pre-tax. These whites, this Viognier at 91 plus is an absolute still as well.
So, Stacy and Jeff, it's, like in wine, like in life, right? He likes them a little younger. I like them a little older.
I like them
Are we
feisty. I
talking
like
about
them.
wine or life? I don't know. Is it the same thing? I don't know.
I like them feisty. I like them energetic. I like them expressive. I'm talking about the
Wine
wine,
means
you guys.
mature and old and yeah.
Stop it. I'm talking about the wine. Stop it, everybody. So yeah, so that's the highlight of that feature this week. I mean, there's so much to unfold in that feature that we can't even put everything in one email. I mean, there's so much, so many angles. And we also, Mira, with your amazing skills, we've designed that with the package, that the six
Yeah, if you
red
want just the
bottle
reds,
in on one click.
ridiculous value. I think this is something we gotta convey, and I'm glad that Mark had to go, and he's probably not listening anymore. Teresa might be though, but Dylan, I know you and Cavell are with Teresa right now, so just plug her ears for a second. These wines are really well priced. Okay, don't tell anyone. But it is so rare to find, especially the reds, but even the whites, these kinds of prices for this quality for BC wine.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a rare breed now. The value reds in British Columbia, especially in the Okanagan Valley, it's a very
these
rare
are
breed.
Premium quality.
Well, that's the thing, right? And when you look at that
kind of
special reserve cab, that's okay. There's a bunch of wines out there that there's that, that international blend and like a little that crap, that very like entry level, acidic or over sweet, over extracted, that you cannot
Why are you
even
ruining
tell
the
which.
mood talking about these terrible things?
Yeah, no. But I mean, like but no, we're talking premium juice. We're talking like the Silva level, like all of that kind of stuff. And at that price for a Cab Sauv, I mean, I thought it was like ridiculously underpriced. So
Ridiculously.
3044 before tax for a 93 plus point. I mean, how freaking amazing is that?
So this
And
is
by
the
the way,
trouble. We put the word out, and then word gets out, and then invariably prices will go up very soon, probably because the wineries realize, like, holy cow, we probably undercharged for this wine. So get it while you can.
But it's not only that. There was 88 cases. There was 88 cases made of that special reserve Cab Sauv. 88 cases. So we're looking at 3 barrels of wine. So, I mean, it's been out for there's not that many left. So it's probably something that won't be a reorder of that. There won't be a reorder. It's get it now, because after that it's gonna that price, $30.44 before tax. I mean, this is outrageously well priced.
Outrageously. Well, hey, I have a blind taste for you, and I also want to share my thoughts on popcorn and Merlot, because I have now confirmed popcorn goes with Merlot. That has always been my thing. I noticed it at some point. I don't know when. I was eating popcorn and having wine, and I got to tell you, a lot of things like popcorn does not go with the other 2 reds I have in front of me. It ruins it.
It ruins it.
We always talk about something being ruined because there was this little boy at our kids' school one time at lunch, and he opened a sandwich and he started crying. And I said, "What happened?" And he said, "Someone ruined my sandwich." I said, "Oh my God, what did they do to it?" He said, "There's salad in it. It's ruined." There is butter, a little bit of butter. Yes, Mike LaPlante, butter. Buttered popcorn. I bet that if it was even more buttered, it would go even better with the Merlot. But I confirm, because I have a Merlot in front of me, and then I have 2 others that are not Merlot, and it ruins the 2 others, but not the Merlot.
So the blind taste is Merlot. That's what you're telling me.
No. You told me I have a Merlot here, don't I?
Did I? Oh, maybe.
That's why I got the popcorn out.
Okay. There you go.
I am guessing the one on the left was the Merlot, was it?
No idea.
What did you pour me?
That was the Harmonious for sure, which is Merlot lead.
Oh, there you go. It's Merlot lead. See, I knew. I sniffed it by the way how well it paired with the
Okay.
popcorn.
Oh, I probably give it the Merlot as well because you asked for Merlot. So if you ask for something, I usually give it to you. That's
There
just the
you
way I
go.
roll.
You don't know what's here? There's two wines. The one on the left, I am betting lots of money that it's Merlot
There you
or
go.
Merlot lead. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I
confirmed my
told you so.
theory.
Yes. You have Merlot. Yes, you have Merlot and Harmonious, both with Merlot.
Okay. Because, yeah, it goes much better with the 100% Merlot. Okay. So what is in your glass, Carl Boucher? You saw me open it very sexily with the just pulling the top off and just, yeah, my non-sommelier bottle opening ceremony. So you're tasting it. What do you think?
It's big, it's bold, it's rich.
Oh, yeah. I love the nose.
There's something eucalyptus on the nose.
Okay.
I can't freaking get my hand on it. What is it? There's a very unusual aroma.
Ah, yes.
It's a mix of floral and spice. It's like cumin, like the cumin spice. This one definitely had some barrel time in there. It's not a young pup. This wine is not
correct and correct.
Right?
You are correct on both fronts. Not a young pup. Time and barrel. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I can, okay. Like I said, it's bold, it's rich. It's something that is probably over the $40 mark. Maybe even more. It
probably could have used a decant, but it has been in your glass for an hour. But you're right. It has this like floral, herby.
Yeah, it's very thick. Very, very thick. The legs are just really thick. Slow down.
Yeah, very slow to move. You see that? Love it. Does not go with my popcorn, but I keep eating the popcorn anyway. But it does actually kind of go with the mini eggs.
I would say it's a long shot, but from what I'm getting, there might be some Petit Verdot in there.
Really?
Yeah. That's that inky. It's dark. It's spicy at the end. There's floral notes. That might be that. I would say I don't think it's a 100% varietal. I think it's a blend.
Okay.
And
this was a good blind tasting wine. And do you know what varietals did you say?
Right.
Which varietals were you guessing?
In the blend?
Or you don't want to guess?
Well, I mean, there's probably. Oh man, it's a tough one. Some Cab Sauv. Maybe that's where the Cab Sauv, Petit Verdot.
Very interesting.
Or you know what?
What?
This might be a Tempranillo.
Okay. Well, you'll be this was such a good wine for me to blind taste you on. Okay, and then what do you think points wise, price point wise?
Well, price point, I say it's at least over $45.
Okay.
Because the richness, because of the legs, and because of the length, and the
someone's at the door.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Ask them to come live. Is it a winemaker? Is it a?
No, I think it's a parent or something.
Oh, picking up a kid, right?
Or maybe someone asking for a donation.
Okay. Oh, I freaking hate these blind tasting when I don't have a freaking
No,
clue of what it is.
it was Ashton. It's all good.
Oh,
parent.
good. There you go. Berkeley, your mom's here.
He knows. He knows.
There
Thank
you go. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So it is not any of the varietals you mentioned, but you got the price point right. Okay. It's not a blend. It's 100%. But I can tell you where you got mixed up. It's fermented on skins for 27 days, and it's 50% new French oak.
Okay.
All right. And it is the 2018, so you were bang on with the age. Can you tell us if you think it's BC or Ontario?
I would say it's Ontario, 4
You're
Mile
right.
Creek. Ontario, 4 Mile Creek.
4 Mile Creek. Gosh, you're specific. I don't even know. I don't know. 20 Mile Bench, actually. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. So it is from the Foxcroft Vineyard, farmed by the Wismer family.
It's the Cab Franc from Trail Estate.
Nope.
No?
Not from Trail, but it is a Cab Franc.
That's the one from oh man, that's the Kern and Co. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I totally get what you mean. It is not a typical Cab Franc. And it has a ridiculous amount of just feel of luxury to it, from when I open the bottle to the actual wine itself. But like I was saying, when I was opening it, it's like, oh, cool. Like, look at this. The cork has the vintage on top, right?
You know, it's full body, right? There is so much depth. And you know what? I can relate this with a little bit of Siouan Cab Franc. I get a little bit of the chestnut tree kind of style with heavy torrefaction. Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah,
This
and
is
what's cool about it, okay, so 50% new oak, hand sorted, destemmed, fermented on skins for 27 days. Get this, 516 bottles produced. So tiny production. 516. I think that's 2 barrels.
No.
3 barrels. And sealed with individually screened natural corks. So Daniel Bontrins talked about this, but my understanding is when they're individually screened, the winemakers actually take all the corks and do some kind of experiment with them. And they pick only the best corks.
560 bottles?
516 bottles.
516 bottles. Yeah, it's less than 2 barrels.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know Mark Simpson's Tempranillo was 1 barrel and it was 288 bottles or so.
Yeah, we're talking about 43 cases.
Yeah, tiny, tiny production. So now for the price point, 42 cases. Mike is a wonderful researchist. A Cab Franc even Daryl could love. Well, with the oak, I mean, we know how much Daryl likes his oak. It's possible.
I mean, this is absolutely fucking
a lot of Cab Franc at the Pan Canadian. I mean, he won the Legacy bottle, this Magnum.
It's absolutely spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular.
It is. It is.
It's absolutely fucking spectacular.
It's starting to open up. Like, this is one of those wines you want to have over like a 6-hour meal.
Yeah.
We'll keep opening up and opening up.
Yeah, because all of these spice, the oak spice, are transforming right now. That's why I got like some cumin, some savory. Yeah, I mean, this is really freaking cool. This is really good. Adam Kern, well done, buddy. It is very, very well done.
For the price? The price?
Yeah, I said 45 and above. So
yeah, so including tax, 49. So probably before tax, it's like 43, 44. So you're bang on. I think they priced it like they could have charged more, but they priced it right where it's like a great value. And this is the winery, if you'll recall, Kern & Co. They offer all their wines in half bottle sizes, 375 ml. For $29, you can get this wine in a half bottle size.
And you know,
Must
and
be
this
the-
wine is far from being done. It's 2018. This wine is just
Oh, it's
getting
just
started.
starting. It's a baby still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one has another 5, 7 years ahead of it. This wine's gonna go above a decade.
Oh, absolutely. And go strong.
Yeah.
Especially with the individually hand sorted corks. I'm curious about that if we ever have him on, what the heck that does. Because I
Oh,
imagine
we will. I spent time with him in Montreal in November when I was at La Grande Dégustation, and I spent a weekend with a couple days with him. It's fascinating. A really, really good guy. Learned a lot under Kevin Panagapka. He's learned a lot with a lot of great winemakers over the years in Ontario. He's young but very experienced. His Chardonnays are fantastic. His Fumé Blanc is absolutely off the chart. And now I have also I think it's oh, you opened there's two other single vineyard Cap Franc
yes,
beside.
maybe we should open those tonight too. What pairs well with Cab Franc? Maybe I should get it. And tomorrow night we'll pop on here again and we'll tell you what we think of the other ones.
Well, that's a possibility. I love that.
So what pairs well with Cab Franc? Don't ask Daryl, but like for real.
No, there's so much like with that. Like this is a big Cap Franc. This is a big boy. So I mean,
I can tell you, my popcorn and my mini eggs ruins the wine. It changes. It's not the right thing to pair. No, you need something serious, I think.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like a nice piece of meat would definitely matches perfectly. I would have
a King Street Cab Franc 2018 and a Rapanero Vineyard Cab Franc 2018. So another 20-mile bench, but from a different vineyard.
Yeah.
And a Creek Shores appellation.
Creek Shore appellation. Yeah, with the King Street. Creek Shore, King Street, it's where 13th Street is. So.
Yeah. And this one's 49 a bottle. The Rapanero Vineyard's 49, and the King Street is only 39. So it'll be interesting to taste those side by side. What pairs with Tempranillo? That's a good question. What pairs with Tempranillo? Popcorn? No. I think popcorn and Merlot and popcorn and Chardonnay for me. But what pairs with Tempranillo, Carl? I have no freaking clue.
Something a little wild, like wild meat. Wild meat. Yeah. So wild meat will go well. I would say pasta with maybe pasta with some like venison bolognese. Some venison bolognese on the pasta will be fantastic with the Tempranillo.
Everyone's Googling how to get a hold of venison if you're not a hunter.
Herb crusted lamb chop. Like, I mean, everything with herbs, because there's an herbaceousness and a little floral component of the Tempranillo connect well with tomato dish, but also lamb. I will go lamb.
Lamb for this Cab Franc. Okay, sorry, Daryl.
But for me, I would say with Tempranillo, lamb with Tempranillo, absolutely too. Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. Even though he's not a fan of Cab Franc, he's offering pairing suggestions. So it's very collaborative spirit. I like it, Daryl. There you go. Well, I think Carl's got to go for a nap. And I'm going to go, make dinner. I think we got a grilling situation for dinner. It'll go well with these.
I mean, that Cap Franc is pretty darn fucking good. I haven't given it a score yet, but I would say I was not turned off, but the nose was not something that really put me in the right mood. There was a little cumin, like there was a little spice coming out of the nose, kind of like, what is that?
See, that's where we're different. We like different spices.
But the palate is so rich and so freaking expressive. I love that. I mean, this is at least 92 plus points. the complexity, the softness, the texture, the length, the sensuality of that wine.
It is very sensual. It is.
Absolutely. So yeah, here I am, at least 92 plus. That one might go
Love
a
it.
little higher later tonight. We'll see
Love it.
what's
Love it.
happening.
Okay, well, it's Mythology Vineyard week. Until Monday morning, we can get pre-releases, exclusive access on that Tempranillo and the Merlot estate wines from Mark Simpson's new estate, Neurosoyus. And we get pre-release pricing. So it's like buying futures. You save the money, but it ships out in like the next couple weeks. So you get it pretty much right away. And there's a ridiculous amount of other wines at ridiculously good prices for the quality. So,
Especially the 93 plus points special reserve Cabernet Sauvignon at $30.44. This is criminal how fucking good that wine is for that price. Outstanding. So
That's
there's
true.
that. The duo of 2018's, the Syrah. I mean, really clean and pure Syrah. That wine, that's when I'm talking about elegance. That's exactly what like this wine comes to mind. Elegant Syrah, but nice depth, nice layer, all the characteristic that I want for Syrah. 92 plus points as well. Like stunning 18 Syrah. And don't forget my Viognier, 22 Viognier, 7 days open, 7 days, and it's still freaking rocking. No oxidation. I'm blown away.
Love it. Love it.
Love
All right.
it.
Well, I'm going to go finish my popcorn, finish these three. You can tell, when I like a wine, you can tell how quickly it disappears from the glass.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So next week, no feature. We're going to talk about the Pan-Canadian all week long. We're going to be slammed with meetings all week. I'm going to tell you all of the confirmation that I have, all of the progress that we've made, all of the wine that we've choose. You will be able to pre-order your 12-pack of the Pan-Canadian Masterclass 3.0. We're going to have more information about when the 5-year anniversary Carl's Wine Club red wine collaboration with Vine and Estate and Brian Schmid will be ready to go as well. We have so much going on for you next week, all about the Pan-Canadian. Really, really cool.
Very
Yes,
cool.
my Kern and Co. on the radar. Absolutely. We are looking at the fall for a release. They're gonna bottle. I think they're bottling at the end of May, and Adam wants to wait for the wine to rest at least a couple of months, and we're looking at early fall for a Kern and Co. feature. I'm hoping to have Kevin pouring some wine at the welcome reception at Bellaterra on June the 19th for the Wine Garden. Adam, we already have that chat. I'm hoping that he's going to be present. I already secure the legend of Keith Dyer. Keith is coming, even if Dawson is not feature in the lineup at the Pan-Canadian main event. Keith is coming to spend the weekend with us and is going to pour some Clausen Chase at the main at the Wine Garden, and I'm gonna have a meeting with Suan, and I'm hoping that some Clausen Chase are gonna be poured at the dinner as well, at the official Pan Canadian dinner. Stay tuned about the Pan Canadian. My head is exploding of new ideas and things. So yeah, it's gonna be
amazing.
awesome.
And Rosé and Chardonnay marathons coming up soon. We will post those event dates very soon. We will, these are the varietal marathons where we go live for hours and hours tasting dozens of wines. And if you're ever in the Okanagan when we do one of these, you have to stop by for a backstage experience. So there's that. Also, Leaning Post, our winery of the year in Ontario. Maverick Estate, our winery of the year in BC. We've set dates and event details for those Members' Choice Winery of the Year award celebrations at the winery, where they treat us to, barrel samples and time with the winemaker and tank samples and all kinds of fun stuff. So those will be announced very soon, as well as some celebration releases from those wineries. So those will be available kind of ongoing until they sell out.
We have the date for the Leaning Post party.
Yeah.
The date has been confirmed. The party is confirmed. It's going to be a heck of a party. Carl's Wine Club members and Leaning Post Wine Club members as well in the same house.
August 22nd. It's a Friday night.
Friday night, August 27. It's going to be an epic party with Elia and Nadia.
So I think mandatory on the 23rd, the Saturday, is some kind of informal behind the scenes touring. Maybe we won't rent a bus that time, but maybe we can, whoever's around that weekend, we can do some winemaker led Carl's Wine Club style little get-togethers. So that could be fun too.
There you go. By the way, I confirmed that Richard De Silva is coming with us to Niagara. Yeah. Rob Amersley is coming to Niagara with us. We have also Michael Clark from Clos du Soleil is coming with us. There's a chance still that the winemaker at Maverick is coming with us. We're just waiting for his answer.
Blue Grouse, Vancouver Island, Blue Grouse. We are in touch with them. There's possibilities there. So we are going to go check them out in person this month, and stay tuned for that announcement potentially.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, this is awesome. Absolutely fantastic. So thank you everyone for joining us. It's Mythology Vineyard Week. Crazy things, like there's so much going on this week with the exclusive release of the Tempranillo in the Merlot estate at a exclusive price. No one else on the planet has access to these wines but just you guys. So there's that. There's the 2018 Syrah, 2018 Harmonious. There's the Special Reserve Cap Sauve at $30. So Mythology, don't miss out. Some of these wines are going to go sold out very soon. So let's keep going the good work. And yeah, so we have more tasting to do tonight, Mira Boucher. So I'm excited. So let's have fun.
That's awesome. Guys, I see your orders. Mike, Danny, and Jeanette, Mr. or Mrs. Garish, sorry, it just says E. Garish, Stacy, Adrian, Richard, Denny, I see Ian, Charles,
yeah, Charles, Charles.
Yeah, so I see all your orders. That's amazing, you guys. That's really smart move, because that Tempranillo might be sold out tomorrow. There's only, I mean, there were 24 cases made. Did you say that he already has 12 committed to the wine club, right? So, or some of them committed, or how does that work? Or is there
no, not yet? I mean, we have the first dibs, so
we have the first dibs, so let's go for it. There's a little bit left for the wine club in a couple days. They'll be lucky. Or Mark might say, "Screw off, you guys. I need a few cases."
Yeah, exactly. But, okay. Let's do that. Okay, Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members.
Oh no, Jeanette! Oh shit! I ruined a surprise. I'm so sorry. We have to put a special thing in there for Jeanette and Danny. I'm so sorry. All right.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Okay.
So
maybe I won't say people's names anymore. Okay. I won't do that again. All right. Sorry about that.
See you next time.
Yes. Have a great night, you guys. Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.